Hello. So, been over a month I think since my last update on the Class 2, and that's because I've been absolutely up to my eyeballs with work in my normal day-to-day job, plus as well I've been trying to finish off a wagon for somebody. That has been a drawn-out old job, but like anything, when you start from scratch and you build something from nothing, these things take time. So where are we at with the Class 2? Since the last time I spoke to you, lots of laser cut parts. Some parts have been made up. I've got a stack that I've still got to do, but I'm going to finish this wagon and get that done out of the way before I do any more on the Class 2 in a nutshell. But where we're up to, I'll just show you the frames quickly if I can. That's where we're at the minute. So there's, if I tilt it that way, there's two lower stretchers are in. Obviously that rear drag box is on, and I've temporarily bolted the buffer beam on, and you can see I've got the vac pipe in and the steam heat pipe in, and the steam heat apparatus on the buffer beam as well. Now I've had a bit of a to and fro about that steam heat fitting with 17D, and I'm not going to slag them off for anything or out like that. One thing I am going to say though, which it could be a word of warning to everybody that does it as a business: communicate with people. And I say that because the steam heat fittings for this engine were bought for me by my partner as a Christmas present. The first one was sent in error, which was for a 3.5 inch gauge engine. 5 inch gauge engine. And the second one I got, I thought was a bit small. And luckily, I got talking to a chap who's to do with CTLC in Sheffield. And if you don't know, they're building an engine over there. They're building two engines over there. One of them being a standard class, clan class engine. And he sent me the works drawings very kindly, and allowed me to compare what I'd got been sent and what I got as a Christmas present and what the full size is. And the pipe supplied in the kit was the wrong diameter, and I said this to and fro in emails, and I was basically told that I was wrong and they were right and this, that and the other. So once I'd found out the correct information, I also sent that across, and then emails went dead. To me, that is very poor. You know, that's it in a nutshell. So that is the steam heat fitting that's on the buffer beam. That is correct. The pipe that they send with it is incorrect. I also think that the actual link between that would connect the two steam heat pipes together when an engine was running, I think it's too small. But as the emails went dead and I can't be bothered anymore, I remember getting these when I first built a Class 2 tender with my dad, who's no longer with us, and it was bigger than that, but I can't remember one where I got them from and to who I'd get in contact with trying to get some more. Otherwise I'd take that one off and put on another one that I know is the correct size, because I've seen it up against the size of the vacuum pipe. So I managed to get the correct size rubber to make it look the right against that. So when you look at it, you know, I'll hold that up again. When you look at it in comparison, pipe diameter, it looks almost the same, and that's what it should look like. And I'll put a little picture in that clip to show you on the full size engine. So anyway, digressing. What else have I got for this at the minute? I'm waiting on some more laser cut parts coming, which is going to do the tank supports that sit on the sides, and they kind of jut out from the tender a little bit. Along the top of the tender, you'll notice in the other videos that there's a long row of rivets along the top, and those brackets, those tender support brackets, were also riveted to that support angle and everything like that. To get what I need, the only way I can do it is to get some 3/4 angle because on the full size engine I think it's like 3 inches by 6 inches, so 6 inches being as near as 3/4, which is what we can get size wise. I need to slice off one edge of the angle, so down here I need to slice that off down to 3/8, so it'd be 3/8 at one end and 3/4 at the other. That will give me then the angle to fit on the sides. So I'm going to chew through a lot of 3/4 by 3/4 angle to get what I need in there. There's also some angle that goes down behind the buffer beam and behind the front drag beam on there, so it kind of goes up behind the front drag beam, along the top of the tender frames, and then down behind the rear buffer beam. And it, obviously in full size it would add strength to strength to do for everything. It would all be riveted together as well, but as I said in the last video, which I've had to watch back because it's been that long for doing this video, I had to watch back what I actually was prattling on about. So what I've done, I've again used 2 different drawings and made it work for what we need in this engine. I've also got through from Hornley, I've got some horn cheeks as well that are going to go onto this. I've now got my milling machine here, which is a godsend because I can do milling machining jobs without having to either disappear off to my local club or drive all the way to Lincoln to where my milling machine was stored, use it and then come all the way back. That would be a very labour intensive job to do anything milling wise. So now it gives me the opportunity to go, right, okay, I'm making this tonight, onto the mill, machine it, jobs are good. And you know, I'm fortunate. Not everyone's got that opportunity, and if you haven't, you know, it will be a case of go to your local club or see your mate who's also in the club who's got a milling machine and say, can I set something up on your machine? It ties their machine up for a while, which is, again, I harp on to when me and my dad built a tender. That's how it started, because he didn't have a mill at the time and he used to borrow his mates, and it took a long time for us to do anything on that tender. This one seems to be coming together a lot faster, even though I've noticed it was a year since I started drawing this up, or a year since I got the laser cut buffer beam. So time does fly when you're having fun. What have I got in the drawer below me? Lots of bar stock. 1 inch for the bumper housings, some 5/8 for the bumpers themselves, and then I've got some 3/4, and I can't remember what the 3/4's for, but I've got some 3/4. I've got some 5/8, 3/4 and 1 inch. Not sure why I've got those 3. I know what 2 of them are, but I don't know what the 3rd one is. So yeah, I've got those ready to go. And then I've got this little bad boy that's sat in here, and it's all in different parts. There's lots to do with this. I've still got, straight from Model Engineer's laser, I've still got a load of little parts in bags. And what that is, and you might not really recognise it from all of that, but you might recognise it from this little bit that's coming out now. It's going to become the front drag box, and I've just worked out what the 3/4's for. The 3/4 is for the bushes through the drag box, there and there. They're 3/4 diameter reduced down to 5/8, and then they're silver soldered into that, or a tight press fit, to be honest, because of the way they sit. I'm going to solder them in because I've got to solder all this together. But I was thinking maybe I should set up my welding equipment, and because it's all tabbed and everything and slotted, maybe I could TIG where the tabs come through so it holds it its shape, and I can get it so it stays dead square, and then silver solder the rest. But I've never done that before. I've never done any TIG welding, and I don't want to start practicing on this bad boy because it costs money if you mess it up. Nearly swore then. Can't swear on the old YouTube. So yeah, so this is going to be the actual front drag box. Eventually, get this wagon built first, Gavin. Don't do any other your own stuff. So that's what that's going to become on there. As I say, lots to do, loads to do. I'm waiting on the spring hangers and brake hangers for the tender as well. They're coming from a good friend of mine who supplied me with other castings for my dad's engine. Adam Crow Fittings, big shout out to him because he does a sterling job, same as Mike does. I've been talking to Mike today at Stanier Engineering from down under, or wherever he is, New Zealand, I don't know. Anyway, speaking to those guys, there's been a lot of to and froing of different things and different ideas and what castings, who's got what patterns for what, and you know, Mike's got the capabilities to do pretty much anything. And if you haven't seen his class 3 and 5-inch gauge being built, I suggest you go and follow his Facebook page, which I'll put a link onto it in the comments. It is awesome. There's no two ways about it. It looks dead like it should, full size engine but in miniature. Awesome bit of kit. So credit to him. And it's good to speak to all these different engineers and different companies, you know, helping each other out. There's no harm in it, not one bit, you know. I had a comment on, and I loved the comment, to be honest, and it says, oh, why don't you just copy and paste the dimensions from one to the other? And it's like, it dawned on me after I'd posted the video. So yeah, very simple. Copy and paste, you've got your measurement, you haven't got to type and type and type. So I would feel a bit of a buffoon for doing all that in the old video, in the last video. So yeah, I love that comment, spot on. I also had a private message as well saying I really love your videos, can't wait to see more updates on the class 2, and that's what spurred me to do this video, to be honest, because I had not shown anything. That's because, as I say, I've been up to my eyeballs with work, and also trying to get this wagon done for somebody, which it's hand sign written, and there's a lot of work in it, a lot more than I thought there ever would be. But when I took the job on, I wasn't working in the job I am now, and I had quite a bit of spare time, and I haven't got that spare time anymore, so it's taking longer than it needs to. But I'm on the final stages now. Once the bench is cleared of that job, I've got quite a lot of other stuff, but I want to do a bit more on the class 2. I've also got my new water cut rods for my dad's engine. That's a long story short, but mistakes were made and I'm rectifying the mistakes now 6 years down the line. So just goes to show that anyone can make mistakes, absolutely anyone. So yeah, so there you go. It's a short but sweet video of what's going on. I'll try and give me more feedback. I'll try and get a bit more involved with it as time progresses on. I'm trying not to show videos of me machining stuff and things like that, because you can watch video after video after video on YouTube of someone machining something, whereas what you want to see is kind of, as it's progressing, bits being bolted together, and my study of, I went to this to look for that, and I went to look at this and bought a microfilm for that, and so on and so forth. I have ordered more microfilms as well, but I came across a stumbling block that the person that was doing the microfilms at the National Railway Museum had left their position, and so they were going through the process of getting somebody else to do it. So yeah, it's been an interesting last month or so of not much work, and I apologise for, but we'll get there. Hopefully next time I do a video we might have that front beam in, front drag box. If not, the bumper's probably made, or the buffer's done, or you know, something that you can start to see it come together. Hopefully I'll have the hook put in as well, although that's made me think as well about the screw coupling, because I want the correct shape and size. I want it to look right, and thinking of how I'm going to form the shackle part of it without silver soldering 2 eyelets onto a bit of rod and bending it. You know, do I machine it from solid? Do I go out and just buy one off the shelf? You know, there is a supplier out there that will do a screw coupling that will suit this engine. I won't be using screw couplings towing anything. I'll use chain to hook or hook to bar, something like that. What I won't have sticking out the back of this is a clevis coupling. I don't care if I can't ever run and pull passengers. It'll never have one, because I don't like the look of them. But there you go, let's not get into that. So thanks for watching. Thank you for the good comments and nice comments and, you know, positive feedback, and I hope it's helpful. I hope you know, some of you might attempt at building an engine, even if it's not 7 1/4, maybe 5 inch is more the size you can be capable of doing. I just can't deal with how small it all is. So hats off to all those that can. But yeah, keep tuning in, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.